beds, or you're a hairdresser, or you're a mechanic, or you sell cars, whatever it might be, if that's your business, we try and encourage the businesses to say, this is our product or service, let's have an offer in our front page. Let's say the consumer is clicking through our website for this specific reason, let's have an offer, which the research also shows that you've got about 4 seconds once someone clicks on your website to capture their attention and win their business, basically, otherwise they'll go and look somewhere else. So we've found that a lot of websites might have, might be a butcher, for example, who says, you know, my dad's been a butcher and his dad's been a butcher for the last 150 years. You know, that's great, but that's not what people are going to your website for. So we try and encourage them to build basic websites, make it very user-friendly. I mean, you can have all the bells and whistles on your website. It costs you, you know, 10, 15,000 up to some websites. We find that the more simplistic the websites are, the easier it is to navigate around, and a better result you'll have and more cost effective. Let's take a look at a few interesting stats. So Nielsen reports basically looking at the social media, that the amount of Australians interacting regularly on social networking sites. Facebook obviously dominates that with around 83%, and you can see how that's escalated since 2007 to 34%, up to 72 in 2008. 500 million users around the world currently have a Facebook site. Does everyone here have a Facebook site? A few people do. Anyone have a Facebook site for their business?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sure
Yep. Some more stats there. So Australians that have been online, the top 8, percentage of visits that spend over 8 hours per month. Obviously Facebook dominates that, with YouTube becoming even more popular. There's hundreds of millions of hits on YouTube each month. 26% are now persisting via mobile. Obviously Twitter's a large portion of that. Anyone use Twitter for their business?
Yeah.
Question? Oh, you use Twitter?
No.
Get tired of it?
No, I love it. I think it's the best. Addictive.
So you
I've
just
got
tweet
5
every
follower
day?
accounts. So.
How many Twitter accounts?
5.
5 Twitter accounts. How much time do you spend a
Different
day?
clients, so
Yep. How much time would you spend a day on that?
4 hours. It's for work.
Yep.
And what's the business? Sorry.
Oh, I do social media for clients.
So when you say Twitter for business, what does it do for business?
Oh, look, we think Twitter should be used to. We're always encouraging the business to have offers and some whatever it might be. So it might be 10% off a product or 10% off a service or something you offer. So Twitter can be used. Tweet that out to whatever network you've got. Generates more business. Get people looking at your website. We also encourage people to change the front page of their website. So if you've got that offer on there, have it running for a month or have a period you want to run it, and refresh it each month, so it encourages the consumers to keep coming back and say, what's new this month? A couple of points I've just picked out there, the fastest growing social media. So interacted with the company via social media, browsed or followed companies on Twitter, and watched online video re product or service. So people are using YouTube a lot more now to promote their product or service. Very easy and cheap way for a business to upload a video on YouTube. Try and put in there a link through to your website as well, and it just goes back to that theory before of getting people to go back through to your websites. Interacting with brands and social network overall is about 38% in 2009, so it's up 15 points year on year. So it just shows that the popularity of these social mediums now, that translates nearly 2 in 5 Australians are now interacting with companies via social sites, which just shows that everyone's open to engaging with brands and companies online. Social side of thing, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, YouTube, how to use for the SMEs. Powerful social internet sites have opened up opportunities for small, medium businesses to create opportunities for customers to interact about your business, both good and bad. So I guess once you step into this social media stage, you are opening yourself up for criticism from people as well. So you really have to be prepared for how you're going to react to that and how you can counteract that to make it into a positive. YouTube, as I mentioned before, very popular now. and very effective way for SME businesses to advertise. You might have an old commercial sitting around and it's gathering dust. It's quite easy to upload one of those onto YouTube as well. Facebook, as we've touched on before, this, the popularity now of businesses using Facebook has escalated over the last couple of years. Just by, you can see when I asked the question before, there's quite a few of you here that are using Facebook for your business as well. Some people say that, or to get the most benefit out of Facebook, to spend about half an hour a day on the site and replying to people's questions or whatever it might be in their blogs, etc. So. Some Facebook business sites that we've seen are just full of offers. So it's just offers on discounts, print this out type of thing. So that's another way that Facebook's being used at the moment. Just a couple of interesting things here, which are basically some tips on how to use the Facebook site. Number 3 there, keep your personal profile separate. So you don't want your business clients and your personal profile to be interacting. You want to keep those completely separate. Which leads into the limit business contacts access to your personal photos as well. Some of those might be a bit damaging. Some of them might be. And obviously the last line there, make sure you have the time and resources to respond, as I mentioned before. This is an interesting story about Starbucks in the States. Does anyone know how many Starbucks coffee shops there are in the States? Anyone want to have a guess?
5,000 or 6,000?
5,000 or 6,000?
It's about 10,000.
It's about 10,000. 10,000 Starbucks stores through the US. There was some people were made aware of the amount of water usage that Starbucks was using per coffee. It ended up to be about double the amount of usage that a regular coffee maker would use per coffee. And these people set up a Facebook campaign and rallied against Starbucks to say they're wasting water, etc., etc. Very negative campaign on Starbucks, which impacted on the business. It was combined with the GFC led to a revolt against Starbucks. Does anyone know what Starbucks did to counteract this? No?
It'll be some sort of viral marketing for sure.
Oh, not quite. They
Set up a car wash. Free coffee.
What they did was they got the 10,000 managers around from every store. So every manager of the 10,000 Starbucks stores, they were not summoned, but they were brought away to a 4 or 5 day training retreat in New Orleans, just after Cyclone Katrina, I think it was, ripped through. The analysts at that time, obviously being around the GFC time, were saying it was all a bit of a jaunt. They're wasting money, etc. The first 6 hours of the first day, 10,000 Starbucks managers participated in community service. So they provided 60,000 hours of community service around New Orleans. Obviously the media was quite positive around that and had quite a bit of airplay, and they were able to upload photos using Facebook and really reverse that negative image which they had and turn it around with a positive to a stage now where they've got about 8 million registered members belonging to the Starbucks Facebook page. So I was about to go into that. They've obviously fixed up the water usage problem now, and they also made a point to say that we're going to remember the name of every person that comes into our shops. So my boss tells a story. He was in the States recently. I think he was in Santa Barbara, and he walked into the Starbucks, and the first day he ordered his coffee, and they asked for your name. He said, "My name's Darren." I said, "Okay, Darren, here's your coffee." Next morning he walked in, the same girl sees him again, he goes, "Hi Darren, how you going?" So, I mean, whether they do that for everyone, but that's an example that he tells us.
That's American.
So,
It's called face recognition, isn't it? Technology.
brand channels. Everyone aware of Gavera?
Yes.
Yep. Everyone not aware of Gavera? Hands up. Okay. All right. Basically, Gavera came to our attention on the private investment side of the AMA business. They were looking for a bit of funding, which we provided through the network, to a stage now where they've launched in Australia and launched in the US. Now, to me and you and most